Hey everybody, thank you for joining me on another episode of Adventures in Rust. Today we're going to be taking a look at another car in our collection, something that we would love to do something with in the future. I got it, not sure what to do with it. I was just going to use it as it was intended, which is as a pool house. And you go, pool house? What the heck? What car are you talking about? And I've got farther here, the Ian Roussel half Dodge, half camper conglomeration. Now, a lot of people, when I've seen this online and they're talking about it, they say, well, why didn't you make it drive? You should put a motor in it. All the comments on his page. Guys, this thing was built, if you remember, to be a pool house out by his house, like above ground pool in the desert. Like, it was perfect for that. It's a cool little thing in the front here. Let's take a look at it. He had a cooler on one side and a hibachi on the other. The hibachi's missing, but you can see the cooler's still over there. Let's see, maybe he left us a beer or something. I don't know if I've ever checked it. It's been sitting here for a while. We got an empty can of LaCroix. Oops. And now I'm stuck again. There we go. Don't worry, she's rugged. You can see it's got farther. That's the name of it. Farther. Which I absolutely love. I think this is like, it's obviously he's made some really cool cars, Ian has. But this thing is a conversation piece, man. Every time, like, you can see it through one of my gates, I'll get like a guy who's honking out there. I'm like, hey, what's up? What's that? You want to sell that old Dodge? Bro, no. It is cool. It's mine. I love it. I'm a fan of like the guys, I'm like the rest of you. I've watched all the TV shows, the Motor Trend shows, all that. So to me, when I get my hands on something like this, I just think it's too cool. For this, I traded with Ian and I gave him the body of a 1940 Chevy, maybe 41. And it was all street rotted out. He was going to make a custom out of it. And unfortunately, a windstorm blew a barn door into it and destroyed the car. So that didn't go very far for him. I think they used some parts on a different car. But let's take a look at farther here. She's really just cool. I mean, in concept, it is 100% solid. In practice, it's got some things that need to be tightened up. When I bought this from Ian, when I got it in trade from Ian, one of the things he said to me, and I really appreciate it because it's an honest sale, he says it's a TV car, which means this was like in the last season of his TV show. I mean, he had a couple weeks to put it together. It was slapped together to make a cool show for us all to enjoy and come up with a product that actually worked really well for its intent, which was a poolside camper. But it's not like a finished perfect car. It's got a lot of gaps, a lot of caulking on the outside, a lot of just making it work, which is totally legit. But the concept is, what do we do next with it? I mean, I could easily see this thing, I think what would be weird is, but cool, like a Volkswagen transaxle with a small electric motor, small battery pack. That way you could keep like your cooler in the front, build a new chassis for it, because it really doesn't have a chassis. It's just parts welded together of a camper and the front end of this Dodge. So build something that could be like a campground cruiser. You'd probably still tow it there, but then when it was there, you could go around a show, you could enjoy it, and still have something that's not too far gone from this original plan. The other idea would be, I don't know if I'm ever into front motor. There's not any room there. You'll see when I show you the inside here, you're going to have to drive this thing like a McLaren. Like, you're going to have to be, or whatever, a Celine or something that you're in the center of, Let's go in there and take a look, and then we'll come back outside. But there's not much space in here. It definitely was made as a display piece. You can see they used this wood panel in here and just went straight down. So you'd have to take all that out. There's not much space up there for your legs. You put a kind of funky seat in here. That's what I'm thinking. Move it all to the center. Make it a center drive. A little better seat. I don't know. I think it's also great as a camper. you know, we were thinking about gutting it. This is all just kind of ancient stuff that's in here. Ian said he used to live in this behind his shop for a couple years, way back in the day, and then just kind of traveled with him for a while before he cut it up and made this thing. But we were thinking about gutting all this, making it like a bar, putting an open door here, and then our pool is just over there, and we could put it over there. You know, you can go in it, or you could just stand here and somebody could serve you drinks right through the window. It'd be kind of fun. So that's the most likely use of it, but it would also be kind of neat to make it so you could drive it around and enjoy it a little bit more actively and less statically. But you can see from the front, it's killer. Plexiglass window, missing the center strip. All these side panels are actually like an interior panel that he used. I'm sure he just had a pile of them laying around, but you could see they're made of like an MDF, so they've started to absorb water and are swelling out there. So at some point that's got to be dealt with. I'd love to have Ian out. We could work on this thing and make it something new and unique. So if you know Ian, hit him up. I've got his number. I might give him a call one day and say, hey, I'm ready to work on farther. Let's make it something amazing. But right now she's just here. She's happy. She's safe. She doesn't really need anything to just be cool. I got her laying out here in the junkyard. Not really junkyard, but part of the collection, and where I can see it all the time as I pass by. But yeah, that's it, guys. I just wanted to give you, you know, kind of a quick peek at that and let you see what we have going with that thing. To me, it's cool. It's Ian cool, but it's also standalone cool. So at some point we'll do something with it, whether it's just by the pool over here or maybe by the shop. It could be a nice little drink cart by the shop. Maybe that's why it's got to drive. It's got to drive from here all around the property over to the shop. But one day we'll get into that thing and we'll really rip into it and make something awesome out of it, or a little bit more awesome. I got a couple other cars back here. We got the topless Suburban. One day we'll do something with that. We got the chassis that we pulled out just now from the Meteor build. So that's the Meteor chassis back here, just sitting waiting for kind of the next stage of its life, whether it's going to live on or get out of here. Probably just find somebody who needs a Meteor chassis or a shoebox chassis and hook them up with that. 40 Chevy tub chassis. That's actually the chassis to the car that I traded for Ian. I had plans for it, and then those kind of changed, so it's sitting here. The motor that's in the Meteor was in there. Man, everything gets mixed around in here. And then I got this old Lincoln. This poor girl. She's laying here. I got a freaking whatever that is, a tonneau cover on the side of it here to try and keep the water out of that window that's permanently open, or at least open for now. She's bagged, shaved, just an absolutely killer car. And the interior was actually really nice at one point. And we see in there, interior is decent, but unfortunately, I got this car from a friend, fixed it to make it just a drivable black 66 Continental. This was like 22 years ago. I sold it to a friend. He took it, bagged it. Then I went out and we shaved the whole car. We took off the handles, all the trim on the sides. We just got it, you know, like body worked and kind of ready for paint. And he drove it like that for years and never painted it. Did the interior. And then one day just parked it. And it sat with a window down for probably 10 years. That front pillar is rusted out completely. It just needs a lot to get back on the road, but it's one of those cars that I'm kind of pot committed to. So at some point here, we'll drag her over to the shop and get her up and running, make something out of it, and then get it back on the road. The coolest thing about this car, when I sold it, I don't know, a few $1,000 the first time. It's worth a few $1,000 as it is, just as a pile. I got it back from my buddy, and I appreciate that. Thank you, dude. We traded for a set of jumper cables. So he's got a really nice set of jumper cables, and I've got a really nice Lincoln sitting back here. But one day we'll get it back on the road and enjoy it. I'd like to take my daughter, she's 1.5. She'd love to sit in the back of that thing. It would be a cool car to take out and go to shows and do all that. Anyway, guys, that's it for this week's little, junkyard car stash walk around. I showed you one more of my Motor Trend cars here, which is the farther from Ian Roussel, Full Custom Garage, Full Custom Ian on YouTube. And it's just something that I treasure. I think it's so cool. God, I'm in the sun there, aren't I? And it's something we're going to see more of on the channel. Putting it together, making something out of it, and obviously utilizing it, because unfortunately I've been distracted and it's been sitting back here. I got it in 23, so I've only had it 2 years, but it needs to become something more than this. All right, guys, like, subscribe, share, do the thing, and be active. I want this channel to take off. We gotta get some activity going so that we can make this a regular thing, come in, get these cars running, and really get the most out of this experience. So thanks, guys, I appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.